Hello YouTube, welcome back to another weekly production of E3's Life. Alright, today's topic is social media and its effects on humans, I guess. Yeah, effects on humans. Alright, now obviously in my past videos, my past 3 videos right now, currently, I've talked about it before and how it's affected, a lot of people and still is to this day affected a lot of people, especially social life and anxiety and all that stuff, right? But I really want to get into it more and talk about it more. So that's what we're going to do today. Social media. Now, as a guy growing up in the 21st century, social media is a big thing in my life, I guess you could say. But I'm starting to realize that it's really shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be that big in my life. Because if you think about it, my parents, your parents grew up in an age where social media wasn't a thing. Can you sit down and imagine what social media was like for them back then? Well, it wasn't there, obviously. But just imagine how they feel growing up, right? Parenting their kids. Social media is a new thing, new words, new sayings, new acronyms every day. Just imagine how they feel. And imagine how you will feel when you're a parent one day. If you are one, or if you're not, then that's okay. No shame in that. But social media really has taken a toll on people, I think. And I think that could be a good thing and a bad thing in a sense, as I said before. But overall, where I've seen social media's effects, you could say, is on social interactions. In my day-to-day life, I see people around me kind of like judge other people based off of how well they are in tune with new social media trends, new TikTok trends, new audio trends, new whatever, right? New words, new acronyms. And it's kind of sad to see that because why do you want to judge someone for how basically how long they're on TikTok for, Because I know there's some people out here in my generation that don't really that are not on social media, and they can kind of get bullied for that in a sense. But it's just sad to see because I feel like there's so much more to social media than just judging people on social interactions and how in tune they are with trends and acronyms and dances and whatever, right? But again, social media I feel like has just kind of taken away that human interactions, because I scroll on TikTok and I see this guy, he's doing, working on this project, working on that project, and I feel motivated to go do something. The next thing you know, I scroll. And I guess it's that uncertainty. I've talked about this before and about how, as humans, we kind of crave that uncertainty, right? And I think that's the main thing why people are addicted. And that's why motivational content on TikTok and Instagram have been a big thing recently, is because the people who create those videos know that it works and it does work. I'll tell you that right now. My friends, that's all I listen to. That's all I listen to. Motivational TikToks, you know, cool edits, right? And the people that are creating them, they know it's working. Or they don't, or they do it for fun. Hey, someone out there, some of those editors out there create those types of content for fun, and I don't blame them. I would do the same, but I don't really like editing that much. It's kind of a laziness thing for me, I guess. But hey, at least I'm being consistent in uploading. This is my 4th video. I've been doing this for a month almost now, uploading every Saturday, right? And I think there's kind of beauty. I think I'm gonna go switch over topics now to YouTube, and I think as AI, and I'm talking about AI now, as AI becomes more and more developed and more AI YouTube videos are starting to pop up, I think in the future, these videos I'm making right now, this human interaction, me talking, me messing up my words, me stuttering even, I think that will become gold one day, right? A raw human interaction. Now, some of you out there are gonna think I'm cringe or, oh, this guy has no life. And there's gonna be haters, and I know that. And that sucks, I guess, kind of got to deal with it in a sense. But just take a look at yourself. Why are you hating on me? I did nothing wrong to you. Did I disagree with you? Did we disagree on ideas? If so, maybe we can have a conversation about it, Maybe a light talk about how they differ, because I guarantee you, none of my ideas are not going to sit right with everyone. And that's how it is. We're all different. All right, I'm getting sidetracked. Social media. I think more and more people are realizing by the day that social media is a curse in disguise, I would say. Some of them think it's a great platform to profit off of and I guess make money. And I kind of see it at that way at the same time, but as I get older here in life, I realize that maybe I just want my voice to be heard. Maybe I want to inspire a couple people to quit social media and move on with their lives. Go out into the countryside, start your own life, start your own family. Um, I say, I say the saying a lot. I want to be rich, not money rich, but I want to be rich with family. That's my type of rich. Beforehand, I wanted to learn the stock market and trade, what an average teenage guy does nowadays, supposedly. But now I'm growing up kind of realizing that, man, maybe I just want to settle down, start a family, live in the woods, peaceful life, right? Maybe that's what I want. And again, that's I'm probably not the only one, probably not the first. Some of you out there think that the city lifestyle is the life, the parties, the cars. And I do like cars, but not the hypercars and stuff. I'm more of a classic guy, I guess you could say. But and I feel like a lot of that, the city life, a lot of that is due to social media. Think about how cities are created. In a sense, it is kind of like social media. Back in the day, word of mouth, newspaper, right? You have fame standing, you have fans or Patreons that support you, right? That's kind of, you know, social media in a sense has been around, not digital, but I guess I use social media term very loosely when I say that, by the way. I mean it as like people who have fame or followers, right? And, the reason why these cities are created is because people want to go there and get famous, get on the newspaper. That's how things were. But who am I to judge or make assumptions, right, about how cities were formed? I don't know. I'm not a city guy. I don't know how. I mean, I do kind of know, but I don't go into that subject a whole lot. I don't know. I think more and more people are realizing how social media is affecting their lives, and I have too. Me and my friend, we talked about deleting social media after we are done with school. And I think I will follow through with that because I think, talk about high school now. And I think when high school ends, it should be a good memory that you should remember. Now, obviously, some people's high school experience will be a little different. Maybe it's something you don't want to remember, but I will for sure remember mine for a while. But I'm not going to be the person that doesn't grow and move on from there. I'm starting to change my mind to, man, after high school, I want to do so many things, right? Because I want to have so much free time. I'm starting to realize that, you know, that time during the winter now is going to be free. Now maybe I get a job or do something, do this every Saturday, right? I'll still be doing this by then. A year from now could say something entirely different, right? But that's just who I am, I guess. That's what makes me unique. All right, back to social media. Social media. I kind of talked about social media a little bit before in my, I think, time and grit video. But I definitely will talk about it more in the future here. I just need a little more time to think about it. And sorry if you want to hear me talk about it more. I don't really have my whole head wrapped around social media, and I don't think I will for a while. And that's because you can't really describe social media entirely. You can generalize it. You can make a simplification of social media in its definition, but social media is such a broad term and there's so many topics that can stem from it. For example, on social media you have, I guess famous people that have followers, you have people who make edits, make a bunch of money, make money from selling course. They use, I guess, ethos. If any of you know what ethos is, I'm pretty sure it's the emotional side of connection of words and how they're used. People use that a lot on YouTube. And, I feel like the funny thing is that some people, most people I know, don't like learning about that stuff because who doesn't want to learn about poetry, right? Who, why learn about it? But it's in our everyday lives. We use it every day, you know, writing, reading, we use it every single day, and we hate to learn it. Now, some people don't, some people do, but majority of people that I know don't like learning it, and maybe it's because of the teacher who's teaching it, but I think it's kind of funny because, on social media, you're reading stuff. The people who created that content probably has a good understanding of it or understanding of emotions and how certain edit tricks make people feel a certain way or certain music makes people feel a certain way. Now, that's just a tip of social media. Alright, that's enough yapping from me about social media. Maybe I will continue this with a part 2, potentially. We will see. Anyways, hope whoever's listening, or hope y'all enjoyed listening to this video session of me. And if you're listening to this a couple years down the line, hey man, or hey person, human, don't be afraid that you missed out if this is a year from now. I'll probably be posting a little bit more, gotta have that consistency. Um, Maybe there'll be other gameplay footage in the background, but we'll see. Alright. Hope y'all stay safe and good evening, good morning, good afternoon.